What up, boys? Sniped here, and taking a video talk about something that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on, but I just wanted to throw my opinion in on it. So we talk about what is the worst Call of Duty in the recent past years. This is honestly based on my opinion. Anyways, so let's talk about the few games we've had the last few years from Call of Duty. Newest one, obviously, World War II. World War One, whatever the fuck it was, I don't even know. Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Remastered, Black Ops 3. Let's talk about those four right there. Obviously, if we're ranking the best from the worst, Black Ops 3 is the best by far. Probably honestly one of the best Call of Duties ever made. And I would even put that seriously ahead of MW2 and the original Black Ops, even original COD 4. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the worst Call of Duty. And I know sales-wise, yes, you look at sales-wise and say, oh, of course, Infinite Warfare was the worst sales-wise by far, and it makes sense. I can see why, trust me. It isn't the best game, but I'm going to go here on, and I'm going to say the worst Call of Duty, in my opinion, in the last 2 years is Call of Duty World War II. And why I say that is because that genre is so overdone. World War II and World War I have been overdone like crazy. I will not be buying Battlefield World War II. I bought World War I barely even played it. They just need to stop doing it. It's like, how many times can you do the same thing over and over again? World War, like, I mean, there's only so much content you can make in those games. The good thing about these futuristic games, which Call of Duty was going for a few years with Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare, it's never been done. It's not a real thing. You can do whatever you want in it. You know, make up your own guns, make up your own planets, your own maps, your own whatever, your own war, your own storyline. When you're following something like World War II and World War I, you obviously it's history. You know, you can't rewrite history, you can't rewrite the weapons in it, you can't rewrite what happened, you can't change the maps, the places. It's only so much content you can make. Don't get me wrong, you can, maybe with the maps you can have a bit of room to play with, because you can, I don't know, you can do a bit more. Obviously you can't go to fucking Mars and say it's World War II like they do in this game, but it's very hard. And personally, I think a big thing is too with the Call of Duty fan base is that I'm going to go and say this, that jumping jetpacks takes a lot more skill than boots on the ground. And that's coming from a person who's had a 2+ KD in every Call of Duty. Every Call of Duty I've had 2+ KD. My highest KD actually being, I believe, in Black Ops. In Black Ops 3, which is almost a 3. I mean, at MW2, I had 80,000 plus kills with a 2+ KD. Black Ops original, I had almost a big KD, I think almost 100,000 kills. So, I mean, I'm not going out by saying it's by, I've only played futuristic games, I've only played boots on the ground games, but I've played both. I played every Call of Duty, Hey, fuck off, but anyway, well, what the fuck? Where's that guy at? Anyways. Yeah, I believe, if you guys noticed, maybe it's nothing I only really pay attention to, when the new KDs were out, sorry, fuck. Anyways, when the KDs came out, and you kind of pay attention to them in the combat, if you kind of pay attention to the combat training and, what the fuck you guys know? Holy fuck. Anyways, combat training, sorry, not combat training, combat record, the KDs has went down a lot from Black Ops 3. Even from Black Ops 3 to Infinite Warfare, they've dropped a lot. There is very rare that you see somebody even above a 2 KD. Very fucking rare. It's mostly, okay, fucking dude, you guys are fucked. Anyways, it's very rare. Like, back in MW2 days and boots on the ground days, you did see a bit more better players with quickscoping especially, and higher KDs. Now, those players, if I'm going to say so myself, I'm going to say they're one-dimensional because they can only play boots on the ground games, be good at boots on the ground. It's basically like if you're only good at quickscoping, you're one-dimensional. And playing Call of Duty, these kind of games, going from Battlefield to Call of Duty, to a lot of other games that I've played, first-person shooters, third-person shooters, is that you don't want to be one-dimensional. You want to be good at every single game you're playing. And I've had my 2+3. I've had a 3.4 KD, I believe, and in Battlefield 3. It was pretty fucking insane, and you know, I was dropping 100 plus kills a game in close quarters matches. So I definitely do believe there's a lot of one-dimensional players that play Call of Duty, and I do believe when Call of Duty switched to Black Ops 3, I don't know, I'm not gonna say a lot of them got worse. It's just that they weren't used to it, and then maybe they got, I don't know, maybe they got frustrated with the jumping and all that because other players were just better at it. And it's very hard. Jumping from run boots on the ground is very two different things. You know, they're very different, and especially, and obviously them going. They knew this after Infinite Warfare. They knew Infinite Warfare didn't do very good. Obviously, Infinity Ward games have not been doing very good lately in general as a whole place. And that's a whole different thing comparing, you know, Infinity Ward to fucking Treyarch to whatever the other fucking company is. I don't remember the name right now. But like anyways, the point is that so when you're playing World War II, you have a lot of players. It did really good sales. I believe the only reason it did good sales is because people were just sick of jumping. And I believe that in a few years it's going to be the same way again. People are going to be sick of boots on the ground, they're going to want something new, and then what are they going to do? Go back to jetpacks? Like, you guys already complained that jetpacks were annoying, this and that, right? So what are they going to do then? There's only so much you can do for a game, right? There's only so much you can do for movement. You're either boots on the ground or you're jumping. Which one do you want? And I'm not saying that they can't go back and forth and switch every few years, because they can. They definitely can do that, and you know, the whole, you know, every few years that it technically would be newer because you're not used to it. If you take a few years break from it, you come back to it and it's boots on the ground. But anyways, the whole point is that I personally think World War II was the worst Call of Duty made in the last few years, and what the fuck? And I definitely put Infinity Ward above it. Infinite Warfare, sorry, above it being better, just because I believe it takes more skill. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Infinite Warfare is a good game in general, because it's not. It's a shit game. But honestly, if I had to choose, I put way more game time into this than World War II. I will never go back to World War II. Never. When I played that game, I went to Sector 3, you know, and by then I was bored. I was like, man, I'm using the same guns, the same perks, the same maps, and even in that game, these are the same guns that are in World War II Battlefield, or World War I Battlefield, or Call of Duty, the big red one, or, you know, Medal of Honor Spearhead. These are all the same weapons that go back like 10 past years, because you can't change history. It's the same weapons. You can't do anything new. You can't really use your creativity that a lot of these I'm gonna say game designers use in like games like Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. You guys come up with your own stuff. You know, you make jumping thing, you make your own weapons. You know, there's a lot of weapons in here that probably not even based on real weapons. It's, you know, it's just pure imagination, and that's to me, that's what makes a better game. You know, if I want to play a realistic game, I wouldn't be playing Call of Duty. Call of Duty is an arcade shooter for a reason. So I believe them trying to do, you know, World War II, World War I, just why bother? Let Battlefield stick to it. Well, that's their thing. They're more realistic. Let Battlefield stick to it, or whoever else wants to do it, but just not Call of Duty. Call of Duty's never been a realistic shooter. You know, it's an arcade shooter for a reason. Anyway, guys, that is my rant for today. I know it's probably a bit confusing, but that is my opinion on this whole matter. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.